Yo, what's happening, Raider Nation? It's your boy Soto here. You know what it is. Raiders versus the world. Talk about the team that the world loves to hate, your Las Vegas Raiders. Okay, so Maxx Crosby is like the undeniable leader of this entire team, and especially on defense. This is an area of the team that I feel a lot of people are sleeping on. This team played really well defensively at the end a couple of seasons ago when they were all together and they were playing kind of like how they want to play now. No politics, none of that nonsense. Just the best players on the field. Let's get going. Let's get after it. That is how Patrick Graham likes to coach. Unfortunately, he wasn't allowed to in an early part of his tenure with the Raiders. Ever since then, he's been just beset with injuries and losing big guys and losing major parts of his team. This is a big question mark for this team. We have a lot of new starters on this team. We have a lot of position battles, but the guys that we brought in all have talent. They all have high-end traits, and they all fit what the head coach, Pete Carroll, and the defensive coordinator, Patrick Graham, want to do. This is all revolving around how they can galvanize together and how those pieces can fit and fit really tightly so there's no breakage going on in the season. That's a big role of the leader, Maxx Crosby. You know Maxx Crosby is going to bring the juice. You know he's going to come in here and he's going to go in and he's going to have every day full practice, full bore, 100%, all the snaps, 100% energy, and 100% effort. That's just what we've come to expect from Maxx Crosby. Where I think it's going to be elevate his game even more is 100% leader and 100% role model, not only on the field but off the field to these young guys and his new teammates on defense. We're going to get to take a quick look at the presser from the training camp for Maxx Crosby. But before we do, I want to make sure everyone please like, comment, and subscribe to this video. It's an excellent way to support the channel. It's absolutely free to do. And it's the bare minimum you can do to support the channel besides doing absolutely nothing, just watch the video. Okay, enough of that. Let's hit the Maxx Crosby. God, I love that logo.
What up? What up? What up? You good?
How good was it to get back out there? First day of training camp. How'd you feel?
It was amazing, man. Just the energy, feeling, everybody on the team flying around and just having fun and get back on the field together. It wasn't perfect. There's definitely things we could clean up. We're not in pads yet. It's the first day, just getting out there and kind of getting our, trying to get back in that groove. So yeah, it was. There were some ups, some downs, but overall, I feel like it was a solid day. So we got room to improve.
How important was it to retain what you had in OTAs and mandatory minicamp to come in today and not feel like it's day one?
Yeah, honestly, we talked about it yesterday, but we went so hard in OTAs. Like, it feels like today was smooth. Like, it wasn't like, previous training camps where you come in and day one people are dying and stuff like that. Like, I know the guys have been working. A lot of the dudes have been here, training ever since we got done with OTA. So, we've had a big group here working and training. I know a lot of guys. Gino's been in Miami getting to work and has had guys out there as well. So, it just felt like we were right back to business. So, yeah, I know on a personal level, there's little things that, today just cleaning up, not second guessing a couple things. But, yeah, just overall as a team, it was great seeing guys fly around and have fun. So it's just an opportunity every day to get better.
What are your thoughts on Jamal Adams and what he brings to the back into the defense?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's a full circle moment. I was I think a freshman or a sophomore in high school. I think I was actually a freshman, and we played Hebron in high school in the playoffs in the first round, and he was on Hebron in Texas, and I got to see him. I didn't play a snap. Obviously, I'm sitting on the sideline, and my brother was a starter on that team at Colleyville, and we got after Hebron's ass. We beat Jamal's team. But I'm not gonna lie, Jamal, I told this in the team meeting yesterday, Jamal is one of the coldest players I've ever seen in person. Up to that point, I've never seen somebody like that on a football field. And then fast forward, coming to the league, we played the Jets a couple times earlier in my career, and I got to see him, and that was his prime. He was a perennial Pro Bowler, highest paid safety at the time, and he's had a couple injuries, things like that since then. But just being able to follow his career, I've been we didn't even know who we were at the time, but just kind of it's full circle coming back together. I seen him in here first thing in the morning yesterday, and we got to chop it up, and we know a lot of people mutually. So yeah, it was like we've known each other from a distance, but it was it felt like I've known him for years. Finally getting to meet in person and chop it up. So yeah, he's a great player. He's dynamic, flies around. He's got the right type of energy. We just got to get it's like everybody else, keep stacking days and show up with positive energy, and I think he's gonna help us.
You remind him of the loss?
Oh, high school, yeah, of course, yeah, of course. That was like the first thing I told him. I'm like, yeah, I remember. I told him, like, I hyped him up a little bit. I was like, bro, you're insane. You're playing running back. You're playing linebacker. I was like, yeah, we whooped y'all's ass. So yeah, so shout out to my brother and them. They definitely got after him for sure.
Yesterday when Coach Carroll was talking, he said that even though he hasn't known you that long, he's already somebody he trusts to believe on his team and carry his message on throughout the roster. How do you kind of take on that responsibility as you go into this first year working with him?
Yeah, honestly, like being a leader is just part of who I am, and being, part of my, evolution as a player. I want to get better in every way I can. I would push myself, just like I push my teammates. You know what I mean? I never ask somebody to do something I wouldn't do, and that's the way I live and how I operate. And Coach Pete, Coach Carroll has done it at the highest level. He's won a national championship, he won a Super Bowl. And for me, I'm just trying to absorb as much information from him and learn from him because he's been around so many great players. And everybody I've talked to, from Marshawn to, Marshawn to freaking Richard Sherman, all those guys, like, they speak the world of him. And those guys, those are guys I looked up to coming up in this game. So, yeah, man, it's been an awesome experience so far. So I'm just, like I said, just soaking up information and really just trying to learn from him and relay that message to the guys.
Pete also said yesterday he expects the Raiders to win a lot of games. So,
Yeah.
like, to have a winning record right from the jump. Are your expectations already in line with Pete's in training camp?
100%. I expect to win every time I come on the field. I don't care what we're doing. You know what I mean? It's every drill, everything we do. I'm expecting to win, and that's how I carry myself. But that's just an individual thing. Pete's the same thing. He's been winning at the highest level for a long time. But it's got to be all of us if we want a chance. And so we got to be able to push each other. We got to be able to pull others in our direction and get everybody on that same wavelength so we can go out there and execute on Sundays. And, we got a lot of work to get there. It's July right now. We got, we don't play our first game till September. We got a lot of work to do. But I know the guys are going to put in the work. And I know for me, like, I expect to win. Every time I go out there, I expect to win. I don't care, who's in front of me.
Right now, Christian's still out with a split injury, but when you look at those guys in that rotation, like Jonah and Zach, guys like that, even Tonka, what do you see from them so far in the process, and what are you trying to do to kind of help them along the process?
Yeah, they've been great. I can't lie. Jonah is a special talent. Dude can play. He don't even know it yet. You know what I mean? But he's going to be a hell of a player. Tonka, JJ. You got Tyree, getting reps inside, and he's gotten reps inside in the last couple of years as well. But we got a ton of talent, and I trust those guys. I know they're going to be ready when it comes to game day because we need them. You know what I mean? They're going to be out there. They're going to be playing week 1, week 2, week 3, all the way through the season. So we know they're young, but we need them. If we want a chance to win, and I know they're going to step up. And Adam Butler, he's the first name I should mention. He's been here. He's been one of the best players on the interior in the league, in my opinion, in the last few years. So, yeah, we got a ton of guys, and I know they're going to be ready to go. And obviously, having Malcolm back on the other end is, people haven't talked about that, at all. I feel like it's crazy because he was just coming off the best year of his career. He's coming off a breakout year, and then he gets hurt right before last season. So having him back, I think is going to be huge for us. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to continuing getting better with him every day.
To continue with that, you talked about Malcolm and him coming back. What was it like going through that process with him, where he's coming from an injury and you're also injured as well? What was it like, kind of like having to go through that with him, and what have you learned about him throughout that whole time?
It sucked because we're just sitting there. We're two competitive dudes that are in the damn training room every day. You know what I mean? It's like it drove us crazy at first, but that's the cards we were dealt. But it's part of the game. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, but I know one thing about Malcolm, like, I speak about him all the time for a reason. He's a guy that I never have to worry about. We have a great relationship, but he's a guy that shows up every single day, and he knows what it's like to work. He knows what the expectation is. He knows what the standard is. He's somebody I never have to question. I never have to get on his ass because I know he's going to be out there performing at his highest level, and he's always pushing to get better. So I love that dude. I could talk about how special of a player he is, but as special as a person too, because he's another Matt guy. You know what I mean? We stay close. That's my guy. He's made it from the dirt, and I know he's going to come back with a vengeance and play great football this year.
You talked a lot about the standard. You talked a lot about the standard and setting it. A lot of guys that have been here for a couple of years just haven't experienced success at the highest level. Like, how hard is it to get everyone to believe and to buy into that?
I mean, if you don't believe, then you're wasting your time. You know, there's always gonna be the negativity until you win. Shit, everyone's gonna be negative. I mean, unfortunately, like, you guys are media people. Like, you guys love that shit, and I don't blame y'all. Like, it's part of y'all's, you know, part of your guys' job. You know, you the negative, the positive, whatever it is, and we haven't won much, and y'all got to keep it real. So, like, I do respect it as much as y'all piss me off sometimes. It is what it is. Like, I respect y'all because you keep it real. We haven't won much in this since I've been here. I've made the playoffs one time, and that's not what I expect. Like, I expect perfection and excellence every day. But overall, I can't do it by myself. Gino can't do it by himself. Pete can't do it by himself. It's got to be all of us. So we got to be delusional enough to believe in what we can truly do. That's the only way you can go out there and win. You know, people thought I wouldn't be in this position. People never thought I'd be in this position, and they still doubt me. And I think and I'm gonna keep proving them wrong. You know what I mean? And making them look crazy. And I know we got a lot of guys who have that type of story. Pete was the same way. Pete got fired twice before he became a successful head coach. So I know everyone in here is bought in on winning. I'm not sitting here to make a bunch of big predictions and none of that shit. Like, we got to go do it and go win. But I fully expect to win. You know what I mean? There's no doubt about that. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. It's been cool just seeing a full group of guys go out there in the field together and truly just enjoy being around each other. We're in the locker room, in the weight room. It's just like the energy is always on point, and it's something that can't be forced. You know what I mean? It's just something that's got to be built, and we're doing that for sure.
You mentioned you as a leader, but also Gino as a leader on the offensive side of the ball. When you're able to look across that line of scrimmage and see a leader like that, what does that mean from your perspective?
I mean, it's special. You know, reality in football, if you want to win, like, you got to have a quarterback. Let's be real. Gino's a hell of a quarterback, and he's another guy that gets slept on for some reason. But Gino can play, and he's super competitive, and getting to see him and go against him every single day has been an awesome experience so far. So, you know, we have those conversations all the time. You know, me and him have gotten real close. He's a dude that, like I said, literally the day, I mean, his people know my people, his agents he's a Watchman guy. So, like, I kind of knew what was going on from, a little insider stuff, at that time. And I kind of got word, and I was like, this would be crazy if it happens. And, it did. So I've been so fired up about, him since day one. And I know he's definitely coming here to prove himself and, show the world what he's all about. But, yeah, getting the lineup against him and seeing the way he competes and just throwing the ball. Like, he could sling the ball and make every single throw, which is, definitely, I mean, it's good sometimes. When you're on defense, you're like, damn. It is what it is. But, on Sundays we're going to be fired up and celebrating, and, it's going to be amazing. So, yeah, I can go on and on about Gino, man. I love that guy. He's been great so far.
Well, we've talked a lot about the defensive guys you're taking on your wing, but it seems like Jackson is kind of your newest story today.
Yeah.
I guess, what was that relationship like, and what's happening to get here at this moment?
Yeah, it's funny. It's something to be 100% real. Like, last year, I mean, me and Jackson did not have a great relationship. You know what I mean? And I'm hard on guys, you know what I mean? Especially young dudes. Like, there's respect that's got to be earned. When you come into this league, in this locker room especially, like, there's a certain standard I expect from the guys. And he did a lot. Like, the amount of growth he's had in the last year has been unbelievable. If I was sitting here a year ago and he would have told me all the stuff he did this offseason to get himself in this position he's in, I truly wouldn't believe you. But that's the beauty in this game. Like, you have a choice every day. If you want to get better, you want to get worse. There's no such thing as staying the same. And that dude he's got all the talent in the world. He's strong as a freaking ox. He's a great dude. He's a baller. But it's about the details. And he's come in this offseason with a mindset that he's going to take that next step. And he's done that. You know what I mean? He's been super consistent. He's been, dialed in on the details. He's been here. Me and him are the first guys here every single day. And he's been consistent with it the whole time. And I can't say enough. Like, that's truly all I can ask for. If you show up, I mean, it's not going to be easy. I mean, he definitely got off the hook a little bit because I was going through my injury, so I couldn't really kill him fully. But it was great having him get back this summer. He was going to Australia, comes back, and I got to really run him in the dirt. And, I'm healthy 100%. But that's what it's all about. You know what I mean? We're about pushing each other and getting better every day. So, yeah, I'm so proud of that dude, and I know he's gonna have his best season yet. And yeah, I can go on and on about him, but the energy he brings is infectious.
Last one, guys.
Max, what did you make of Patrick Mahomes calling you the best edge rusher in the NFL for break?
I thought it was dope. For him, to recognize and give me that respect it means a lot. We've been going at it for 6 years now, and we expect to go go have a lot more wars as we move forward. But I think it's just when you have I had this conversation. It's another conversation I had yesterday, but it's so real. Like, I've had the honor to meet some of the greatest players, greatest people, greatest dudes across all different types of walk of life. And I could say this, like, when you meet somebody else that's an ultimate competitor and that is all about what you're about, I don't even have to say nothing. It's just you click right away. And I'm not saying I'm friends with him whatsoever, you know what I mean? Like, I respect the hell out of him, you know what I mean? But, like, at the end of the day, he knows what time it is, and I know what time it is with him. But I just got to meet Kevin Garnett. Like, I've never met the dude in my life, and it felt like he was family to me. Me and him are talking shit back and forth. We were there for an hour and a half just talking, and we were, like, ready to go do it, like, go play basketball, football, whatever it was. Like, we were so hyped up. Steve Smith Sr., I met with him like 2 months ago. I've never met the dude in my life. We were talking shit in the first 2 seconds, and we were like just on that same type of energy. But it's like when you have somebody that is truly obsessed and loves what they do, it's like you walk in the same room and you just know. Like, I don't even have to say nothing. You're just on that same type of time. So I got the ultimate respect for Pat. I've said it a million times. He's the ultimate competitor. I look at myself as ultimate competitor. I look at myself as the best in the world. I know he thinks he's the best in the world, and you know what I mean? I've said it myself. So he brings the best out of me. I know I bring the best out of him. So definitely looking forward to those wars. But we got a lot of work to do until we get there.
All right, guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
I don't know that there's anyone that comes closer to like a Pete Carroll-esque type of pumping me up than Maxx Crosby. There's a couple of things here. He talked about at the end there about Patrick Mahomes, and Mahomes said that, you know, that Maxx Crosby is the best that he's gone against because he's gone against him so much, and just how he gives him fits. And one of the things that I really liked, he's talking about being a competitor, right? He's like, we're not friends by any means, but like real recognize real. Like, I recognize that I respect his game, but at the end of the day, he knows what time it is, right? And that's just when you know, you know. And when you tell somebody like, yeah, blah, 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 this and that, but you know what time it is, it's like, yeah, I'm going to get you. Like, you're good. You got what you got, but, you know, I got what I got, and we're going to see. We're going to find out. That's one of the things that I really respect about Maxx Crosby is he doesn't square up, and he's not phony. He's not like, oh, yeah, you know, he's not going to talk trash and this and that. And then, you know, outside's going to be like, oh, hey, what's up, buddy? Let's hang out. Like, you don't want to hang out with Patrick Mahomes. Like, we ain't going to be friends, all right? I'm coming here to bust you up. Point, period, point blank, that's it. So I can respect your game and I can respect your mentality, but at the end of the day, I'm coming to get you. And just the fact that he wasn't getting along too well with Jackson Powers Johnson, and he had said so himself, they didn't have the best relationship last season. I think some of it could have been because of maybe the work ethic of Jackson Powers Johnson from last season, and how, you know, when you're a competitor like Maxx Crosby and you see somebody that has a lot of ability and they're maybe not maximizing it, that would piss me off. I'm sure it pissed off Maxx Crosby, and just the wars they were going after, and the fact that after all that, he took him under his wing, and I'm ready to see a lot of great things from Jackson Powers Johnson going forward. But just the mindset of somebody, and this is the mindset of someone who's a leader and who's an ultimate competitor on this team, and we have a lot of them. Maybe not as intense as Maxx Crosby, but you know, Gino Smith is like that. You know, Jacoby Myers is like that. We've heard even Adam Butler talk and how he is. There's a lot of guys on this team that are really big competitors and are really guys that are going to be leaders on this team, where you look at like Jeremy Chin. These are guys that are going to go out there and be like, man, this guy's, you know, the first thing that Max talked about was Jamal Adams and playing him in high school, and how this guy's just a beast and how he does it all, and how he's gone through some injuries, but he knows what's inside. And when you know what somebody has inside as a player, they may not be able to do everything physically that they've been able to do in the past, but you put him in the right, you carve him out a nice little niche. You carve him out a nice little role in this team. And Maxx Crosby knows, because he knows the competitor, he knows the fight, he knows the person, he knows he's going to be able to help this team. I'm really pumped up about Maxx Crosby on this team, being a leader, pushing everyone else, and everyone getting on board, because I think this is the type of environment when you have a guy like Pete Carroll who's pushing everyone to be their best and to be great every single day. And that's what Maxx Crosby is like. You get a bunch of Maxx Crosby mentalities together, and I'm telling you guys, man, great things are going to happen. All right, guys, that's my time for today. Really appreciate you guys watching. Go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe to this video. It's an excellent way to support the channel. It's absolutely free to do. And it's the bare minimum you can do to support the channel besides doing absolutely nothing, just watching the video. All right, guys, look, I'm super pumped about this season. I want you guys to get super pumped too. Guys, blow this up to all of Raider Nation, man. I'm doing my part by making this content. I'm doing my part by trying to do, I'm really good at social media. If you guys can share this to your social media, if you guys can tell your friends, tell your haters, tell your mamas, if you got to tell everybody, Raiders versus the world is the greatest thing going to Raider Nation today. We'll grow together. All right, guys, that's my time. Till next time, everybody. Peace. Hey, Raider Nation. Thanks for watching. There's plenty more where that came from. Go ahead and smash that like button. Drop a comment. Make sure to subscribe and share to all your socials. It's the bare minimum you can do without doing absolutely nothing.